Okay, like Andrea, like how do you feel about the topic?
That's how I feel about the topic. I feel
Right.
like
That's how
like
she feels.
I feel like I've been saying, put yourself first and make yourself the priority. Get to learn yourself more, get to learn how you move and how you react to certain situations so that when you do become, one with someone or you do decide to pursue a relationship, you're completely aware of yourself, how you operate in those spaces without feeling like you don't have your own identity within those spaces. So I think he's been saying the same thing I've been saying for the past several weeks that everyone's been like going back and forth with me about.
Shut up, Sweeney.
Go ahead, Jazz.
I agree with what Pink and Lady was saying. Pretty much, you don't really know your traumas until you experience them in a relationship. So I think once you find those out, then you work on understanding what those are and working on your responses. Like Marcus was saying, like since we lead with emotion a lot as women, just like take that for a second, put it in a box, say, okay, what kind of response am I trying to get? Like I like that approach. Not to say I take that approach. I definitely don't most of the time. So I need to start implementing that. But yeah, because most times snapping off just feels so much better. But it's just but then the result is never the best result. So I'd prefer to just have an easier situation, get to the solution faster. But like you said, you don't know, you don't realize what annoys you until it annoys you, and you just got to figure that out and work through it.
All right, go ahead, Lego.
All right, what the video said, I think it really spoke to me. I think it was dope. Somebody's unmuted. I don't know what it is. Oh,
Nah, nigga, you just loud.
can you mute up, sir?
Yeah, I got you, man.
You keep making noise. So I love what he just said, right? Because we love sitting around talking about the flowers and bunnies of life, but I love not talking about trauma, but I love considering trauma. So when you look at what he said, I have to look at myself and how do I respond to trauma, or what is my trauma response? And I had to think about it. And I have an acceptance of my own flaws and people's flaws. And because of that, if a person don't want me, don't do this, or don't want to be with me, or says I'm this, or says whatever, I don't necessarily, and y'all know on the panel, I don't turn around and act crazy because somebody doesn't like what I said or don't like me or whatever, because I have that acceptance. Because once you realize that the opposite of trauma isn't not trauma, the opposite of trauma is actually acceptance, you'll be a better person. So because of that, I'm cognizant of other people's needs, other people's wants, and what's most importantly, my own requirements. And since I have requirements of other people and not expectations of other people, I can easily make a decision and say, okay, this person didn't hurt me, didn't hurt my feelings. This person didn't let me down. They're just not for me because I have requirements. They're not living up to my requirements. And I just got to make adjustments. They're not the right person for me. So I'm not going to have a trauma response because they did this or didn't do that. They're just not the right person for me. And it goes back to the whole cheating thing. A month ago, we was talking about cheating. And I was like, why do y'all get mad when somebody cheat on you? Accept the fact that they cheated on you and say, this person isn't for me, and move on. No expectations. No trauma response.
Okay. All right, go ahead, Ruth. Let me see if we get this together.
Okay, I'm here. Can you guys hear me okay? Sorry about that tonight, y'all. um, I was saying that the way I took the video is like basically the trauma that you have is the negativity that you're bringing into the relationship, and the love language will be what you are receiving from that person. So you should know your trauma as much as you want somebody to give you something. Watch what you're giving them. So it's important to go to therapy. It's important to know yourself. It's important to talk about the trauma and make sure that the person knows what your triggers are. Not that they have to tiptoe around them, but they can probably understand it more. But all this means nothing if you're with somebody who does not care how you feel. They don't care what you think. They don't care anything about you. They don't care to change. Like if you say something like, I'm sensitive about this would happen. Now, I'm not saying stay there. You should keep growing. You should keep developing. You should work through it. But you know, people shouldn't have to tiptoe around you too much, but you have to give it time to heal the wounds. And I do believe when you get into a great relationship, a healthy relationship, that it can help you go to the next level as far as healing some of the wounds that you have. It's not your complete therapy, but I don't think it's tested what you think you overcome until you get into a relationship.
I agree, man. I would like to say I like to see people in almost every space of their life if I can before deciding if I would like to be in a relationship with them. How they handle death, misfortune, job loss, children even, or just different situations. I feel like I need to see you go through turbulent things to know how you're able to handle them, so I know if you are stable enough or if I'm even stable enough, right? Because can I handle what you have going on? That's not just a you thing. You know what I mean? Am I strong enough to be able to stand in line with some of the things that you may have happened that have never happened to me, that I don't understand, you know what I mean, that I can't even possibly comprehend. And the same goes the other way. I would hope you could work through traumas, but things that are just like ridiculous that you just know that you can't get past and that they haven't gotten past themselves, or there is no getting past it. You just gotta take the road out of town and get the fuck out of Dodge, because it's the only thing you can do with people who don't deal with the trauma that they have and hold on to it.
Go ahead, Mark.
I just want to add one quick thing. One of the other things that'll help you in dealing with just how you receive the way people interact with you, always remember that 95% of the time the issue is not with you. Almost every time that person is projecting something on you, that the hurt they feel, the resentment, somebody might have done something to them, they might have had a terrible day. Most of the time it's not actually directed at you, it's just projected at you. And understanding that will help you not take it as personal, so you can hear what they're saying and decide if it's willing you want to engage or not engage. But 9 times out of 10 it's really not you that's the issue. So you remember that, it helps you to remove the emotion from having to retort and respond as quickly as possible. Because I guarantee you, if somebody won the lottery today, they wouldn't be complaining about that little thing. But if they got a parking ticket and they ain't got enough money to pay the parking ticket and rent is due, yeah, everything is going to be that much more exacerbated,
I like that fact.